Money Matters is brought to you by the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited and Capital Financial.
Hi, I'm Strat Carter. Welcome to Money Matters. Money Matters, as you may know, is a show where we educate you about the products and services offered by the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union and Capital Financial. And today we're here with Mr. Philip Babb from the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited. And I'm going to let Philip introduce himself and tell us a little bit about what he does at the credit union. Philip?
My name is Philip Babb, Member Relations Manager of Loans and our Loans Recovery Department at the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited. Through the Loans Department, we issue loans to all our members and those potential members who will be coming. The Loans Recovery, for those persons who may have fallen behind, we seek to find some form of payment solution for those members who need to get back on track and get their accounts back to a state of normalcy.
Okay, which is good in today's economic climate.
Very, very, very important actually, more than just being good.
So how long have you been at the credit union?
Well, this year will mark my 17th year with the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited. So far it's been a rewarding experience.
Okay, we're going to take a short break and be back with you right after these messages.
The Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. This is where you belong. Over the years, we've cared for you to help you meet your needs. Trustworthy, dependable, so you can grow financially. The Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. Excellent service, all values strong. Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. This is where you belong.
Welcome back to Money Matters. I'm Strat Carter, and today, as I said, we're here with Mr. Philip Babb from the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited. And the topic for today is short-term financing. So Philip, I'm going to ask you to define for us, basically in your words, what is short-term financing?
Short-term financing is primarily any loan that you can get that don't exceed, let me say, 10 years. Anything going over 10 years, you consider it to be a long-term financing loan. Those loans going over that period of time is usually business loans, land loans, loans to purchase land, mortgages. So short-term financing would usually concentrated in such things like, wedding expenses, funeral expenses, debt consolidation, travel that we at the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited provide for our membership.
In your estimation, why would a person, you just went through some examples, but why would a person need a short-term loan or any type of short-term financing?
Well, it depends on the person and their needs at that particular point in time. We just came off of holiday. Many persons would have traveled, so they would come for travel loans. We are going into the period going into December, October, down into December. So again, people will travel. Again, you will have persons coming for financing for Christmas. For example, we have a campaign that we run where we offer loans at Christmas, our Christmas line of credit. And those are all short-term facilities. Time and time again, you have persons who may be bombarded by some sort of need. Currently, with the economic downturn, there are a number of persons who are experiencing financial difficulties. And so there's a lot of debt consolidation that person needs, bills, school have restarted. We just finished our back to school, and those are short-term loans as well. Then you have persons going into the University of the West Indies and maybe traveling overseas. And again, those loans may be of a short-term nature.
You mentioned a line of credit. Can you kind of expand on that and tell me what exactly a line of credit is?
It's a loan where it is what we call revolving. Contrary to that would be a closed-end loan, but revolving means that you have a limit that you can access to. So let's say, for example, there's a $3,000 limit, and you use those funds, you draw down on those funds, you pay back, and it's always there. So it's a line of credit. Persons can relate it to a credit card. Similarly, within the banking system, a overdraft facility, which they have access to credit on a regular basis, providing that they service that facility on a monthly basis as required.
So how then is a line of credit different, essentially, to a credit card?
Well, at the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited, our line of credit differs primarily significantly from a credit card. Why? Our interest rate is probably almost 8 to 9% less than what a credit card is out there right now.
Okay.
It is primarily based on your income, and your application is assessed based on your ability to repay. So we will not advance a limit to you that we consider that may cause you undue financial stress as you go forward. The way how interest may be computed on a credit card may be, for some persons, a bit burdensome. Our loans at the credit union, interest is charged on a reducing balance, which allows you that flexibility that if you pay more than what is required or more than what is expected, the interest charge for the next month is much less than it would have been for the previous month.
So basically then, you would advise a person, let's say a person is traveling, would you advise them to get a credit card over a line of credit or vice versa?
What we would usually say to our members, the credit card offers a person the flexibility in traveling. Safety, in that they do not have to travel with cash. If you have a credit card and you're traveling and you want to explore the difference between getting a short-term loan as opposed to credit card, what I would say is come to the credit union, speak to one of the officers, and explore the option of getting a short-term loan to pay off that credit card when you have maxed it out, as they say. Right? The difference here is that, again, as I said, the interest rate on the credit card is probably 100% more than our short-term loans. So you travel, use the credit card, do what you need to do, and when you come back, you come and get a short-term loan and pay it off. And it is much cheaper and more flexible for you going forward.
It sounds simpler, indeed.
Yes.
Indeed it does.
Yeah. And that's the best way to go.
All right, Philip, so are there any more interesting little tidbits about the line of credit that you may want to share? Any more perks that members of the credit union might be able to access?
We do have a number of line of credits. We mentioned earlier the Christmas line of credit, the back to school line of credit, and those are specifically at back to school times, Christmas times. Two other forms of line of credit. There is a share secured line of credit, which is primarily the cash that you have which you don't want to use, so you can take a line of credit against those said funds to the amount that you have in savings. And then what we call our unsecured line of credit. Now, both of these, as I say, carry much lower interest rates than what credit cards carry. And by having the share secured line of credit or regular line of credit, we have a card that you can access these funds by called the Co-Optima Advance Card, which is given to any member who have our share secured line of credit or regular line of credit. Funds can be accessed via any KRFC ATM. There will be a charge because you're using ATMs other than credit union, but if you use our ATM, there's no charge. And you could also access funds at point of sale when you're paying your bills, shopping in the supermarket, and again, interest rate is very competitive, much lower than
it's just
a credit
as flexible
card.
As having a debit card.
Yes, it's just as flexible, and yeah, we encourage all those members who have either share secured line of credit or the regular line of credit to come in and get their Co-Optima Advance Card.
So you mentioned a share secured line of credit, and you spoke of the regular line of credit. Is the regular line of credit, by definition, unsecured, or are there other ways that you can secure it if you are able to?
By definition, it's unsecured. The share secured is secured by the cash. So let's say you have $5,000 on your account. You didn't want to take it, but you want to get some money, and you want to have a constant access to that money. You can get a share secured line of credit. So we hold that $5,000 and advance you $5,000, what we call a share secured line of credit. Issue your Co-Optima Advance Card so you can do your shopping wherever you choose.
Okay, we're going to take a short break and pay some bills, and we'll be right back with more Money Matters.
I can honestly say that I am probably the most satisfied policyholder at Co-operators General. My first motor accident was traumatizing, but after the accident, Co-operators claim staff put me at ease, and my claim was dealt with expeditiously. That experience was amazing. Co-operators General Insurance is the right choice. I am Kimtonian, and it would be very difficult for me to insure with another insurance company.
Cooperators General Insurance Company. Insurance the way you want it to be.
Hi, welcome back to Money Matters. I'm Strat Carter, and as I said before, we're here with Philip Babb from the Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited. And we're still on the subject of short-term financing. So Philip, the next question I have for you is, okay, I'm coming in and I want to get a line of credit. What would I need to provide to the loans officer? What kind of documentation would I need to bring with me?
All right. The line of credit, as we say, is basically an unsecured loan. For that, if you're a first-time borrower, for example, you need your job letter and your recent pay slip. That's for the line of credit. Now, in terms of other short-term financing, other short-term loans that we have, depending on the type of loan that you're requesting and the purpose, then the documentation that you will need to supply to us would pertain to that particular reason for the loan. For example, travel, we would ask you for the itinerary or copy of the ticket that you have purchased or about to purchase. Well, if you haven't purchased it, but usually the itinerary.
All right.
For example, wedding, we ask you for information that indicate that there's a wedding taking place, you know, a letter from the priest, for example. Funeral expenses, the invoice from the funeral home. And with all of these, you must supply your most recent pay slip if you're a current borrower. If you're a new borrower, job letter, pay slip, and then the documentation for the specific loan.
What if the person is self-employed? How would that change the type of documentation?
Self-employed persons, what we will need from that particular individual would be an indication of their financials, their income, expenses relating to the particular operation that they have, so that we can get a sense of how much money is made, how much money is spent, so that they're in a position to pay this loan. We have a team that will assess those financials and come up with a recommendation so that we can proceed appropriately.
So Philip, what about things like medical expenses and debt consolidation? I know debt consolidation is probably like a hot button issue, considering the economic climate. Do y'all provide facilities for those things as well?
Yes, we provide short-term finances for both of those loans as well. Medical, we usually ask our members to bring a letter from the hospital or the doctor indicating that a procedure is taking place. He or she does not have to say what it is. We don't want to go into that personal information.
Right. And
that letter will just indicate that there's a particular operation, surgery taking place, and may outline the cost. For example, things like maternity usually have a breakdown of costs from the gynecologist, for example, and the letter from, say, Bayview or even the QEH, where cost is outlined and stuff like that. Debt consolidation, bills, which is, as you rightly said, is big on everybody's mind these days, with the rising expenses that they're experiencing. Person will need to supply us the statements from the particular institution that they have to pay. Letters from, again, whether institution or company that has to be repaid. So things like credit card statements, even if it's a loan at another financial institution, they will supply a letter from the institution, whereby then we have documented proof that is where the money will be utilized.
Okay, I know it's short term, but how long would a person have to repay, especially in the case of debt consolidation?
With all short-term facilities, the loans are usually tailored to meet the member's ability to repay over a given period of time. I would have mentioned earlier that loans don't really exceed 10 years. So You can go as much as 5 years, 6 years, depending on that person's ability. We know most of our members and most of the persons out there are under financial strain. So as I say, we tailor those loans to suit that person's ability to service the loan comfortably, because we want to ensure that the person pays the loan and still be able to meet their other household expenses. Other short-term loans also we could even relate to, we call real estate, home improvement.
Right.
You know, Christmas is coming up, person looking to improve around the home, you know. And
Paint the place, buy curtains, that kind of thing.
Make it looking good.
Yeah.
We usually ask them to provide us with a written signed estimate from the builder, or even the invoice from one of the established hardware stores in which they are going to purchase the materials and provide a signed estimate for the cost for the work to be done.
We've been talking all this time about the various short-term loans and so on, and the benefits to members. But I was curious, does one have to be a member in order to access these facilities?
Yes, you must be a member.
You must be a member.
You must be a member of the
Okay.
Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union Limited. Membership is open to everyone.
Right.
And to join, if you do not belong to another credit union, and even if you do, you can still join.
Okay.
We will have you approved under what we call dual membership of the credit unions. $125, 2 forms of valid photo ID.
Right.
And we usually ask you to have a documented proof of address where you are. That's used to satisfy, the regulatory requirements. And
Right.
once you join today, you can apply today.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. That leads to another question. If I join today, I can apply today, but how long would it normally take for an approval to come back for any type of facility?
We endeavor right now to have these loans approved within a 2-day span.
Wow, 2
Right?
days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on the complexities of the loan, or if there's any
Yeah.
difficulties, it may take longer than that, and we try not to go past 5 working days, for example. All right. And then it all depends on the volume of loans coming in at the point in time. So there's some mitigating factors that may take longer, but usually within 2 days, within 5 working days, you should be having your check or funds on your account.
Right. On your Co-Optima card.
Or having your Optima advance card,
Right.
and you're about to shop. Yes.
Okay, Philip, so tell me, does a member need to have money saved before applying for a facility? And if so, how much? Is there a limit and a specified amount that you need to have?
Yes and no. Now, at the credit union, each loan carry different deposit requirements. We at the credit union try to promote the whole idea of thrift and other ways of saving. So when you join, we encourage you to save and build your savings, because we want you to have a asset base.
Right.
When you apply for a particular loan, as I say, each loan may have a different amount for that loan. Now, if it is that you do not have it, because right now most persons may not have that money,
Yeah.
we can include that deposit within the loan application for you. Recently, we have run our vehicle loan campaign, right? And part of that initiative would have been that we give you the deposit when you apply for your vehicle as well.
So that amounts to 100% financing for your vehicle, basically?
Basically,
Okay.
100% financing, yes.
Was there a limit in terms of the age of the car?
Once the vehicle can be insured comprehensively by
Okay.
an insurance company, we will finance it for you.
Okay, Philip, so this scenario, I am the prospective borrower. What is the maximum amount that I can be approved for at any point in time for any type of loan?
All right. Any type of loan, all members are eligible to apply for up to $600,000. Now, here's the thing. The larger the amount, it may mean a longer repayment period
Right.
in order for you to be in a position to service it. Now, if you can service the loan over a shorter period of time, right, then you can. Okay, let me say debt consolidation now. For example, a person may have a large amount of debt in which they need to, let me say, consolidate, bring together to reduce that payment. But the amount may be maybe over 100,000.
Yeah.
Now, if it is that they can pay that back within a short period of time, then that loan may be a short-term loan, but if they're looking for flexibility, it may stretch them a bit longer, and then technically it becomes a long-term
Right.
loan as a result. So it depends on the request, it depends on the amount. But $600,000 is available to each member, but that depends on the person's ability to service the loan, as well as providing security to cover the amount that they want to have.
Right, because I would imagine you're not going to necessarily lend $600,000 on an unsecured basis.
No, that's why I said security.
Right.
What we have is that $20,000 unsecured is your maximum.
Right, okay.
There is some leeway to go to as much as $25,000, depending on the person's credit standing with us, and depending on the nature of that request. For example, if it's what we consider to be emergency, medical, maybe even educational, and also maybe debt. And if, in other words, give you that extra $5,000 once you qualify for it, puts you in a better financial position, then yes, you can get it. So, but $20,000 unsecured. When it goes over that, then you will need to provide some form of security. And when we say $20,000 unsecured, what I'm saying is that the difference between what you have in savings and the amount that you want, if that difference is 20, then you're good. If it goes over 20, then security is needed if you need to get that additional money.
Okay, understood. So how are the loan repayments structured?
Okay, what our officers will do in assessing a member, assessing the particular loan and the particular amount. Payments are usually structured on person's ability. We look to see that we want to give a person the comfort of paying us and being able, as I think I mentioned earlier, servicing the other household expenses. So usually loans may be structured anywhere from 1 year to as much as 5, maybe 6 years, depending on that person's ability to, other expenses that they have. When we look at both income and expenses. So it varies depending on a member's situation. It will not be the same for everyone, right? But generally speaking, loans may be around a 3 to 5 year period.
So in terms of the repayment then, is it always a case where there must be a monthly payment? Can it sometimes be different lump sum payments that are not necessarily so structured? Do you give like a moratorium depending on the person's situation?
For short-term finances, no. It's always a monthly, weekly, or semi-monthly payment. Depending on the person's salary payment, how they're paid monthly. There are no moratoriums. So you either pay weekly, semi-monthly, twice a month, or monthly. Moratoriums will only come into play when a person may fall into financial difficulties, and that's where our loans recovery comes in.
Right.
That's where we now look to find a solution to get you out of that particular situation, where we may have to delay the request for full payment for a period of time, right? After we've assessed the member's particular financial situation.
I think there's a misconception
What's that?
in the general public about what the role of loan recovery is. I think when people hear loan recovery or collections, they immediately think, oh Lord, I'm in trouble.
Well, strange enough, over the last year, what we tried to do within our loans recovery department is probably have it look more at a payment solution, right? So our emphasis is not really on debt collection,
Right.
but debt management and finding solution to assist our members out of the financial difficulties that they may be experiencing at this point in time. So we look for a more software approach, and we try now to satisfy the mandate of the credit union, the Barbados Public Workers Corporate Credit Union Limited. So we look for payment solutions, and every situation is going to be different because persons have different circumstances that may be affecting them. So we don't want to be seen as bailiff, collector, lawyer. Granted, there are situations that will probably reach that stage when there is no other recourse, because again, everyone is not the same. So some persons may be willing to pay but refusing to pay. So
True.
You have to go to the extreme. But generally speaking, it's a payment solution. Looking for a solution to really solve a bad situation and help members feel comfortable and things. The important thing is though that any member who finds themselves in financial difficulty and cannot pay or cannot meet the payment is to make contact with us and let us know, and so that we can start the processes early, because if you can't pay in 1 month, there's no way you can pay in 3 and 4.
Bellevue House or Bellevue Plantation Estate is your #1 venue for weddings, private functions, entertainment events, large family holidays, or retreats. Bellevue is located just 10 minutes from Bridgetown and South Coast beaches and has a lovely view across the Bridgetown Harbor. We have large entertainment rooms, spacious grounds with large swimming pool and bar area. There are 2 large dining tables that are great for elegant dining or holding board meetings. If you want a classy, spacious, affordable location to hold your important function in style, call Bellevue today, because we'll go that extra mile.
So Philip, you mentioned earlier about a promotion that the credit union had regarding vehicle loans. Let's say I want to buy a new car in November. Can you walk me through the process? What would I need to bring? How does it work from start to finish?
All right. Yes. Yeah. We conducted about 2 promotions this year along with Capital Financial. Primarily, once you identify the vehicle that you want to purchase, whether it's new or used, we need the first thing we need is the letter of offer of sale or the pro forma invoice indicating the specs on the vehicle, engine number, chassis number, and the agreement for the sale price. We also need a valuation report, a most recent valuation, one within the last month or the current month. Cars do depreciate very quickly, especially where used vehicles are. And usually that valuation should come from the dealer. In other words, Toyota, NASCO, that type of thing.
Right.
We also need a letter of undertaking from the particular insurance company that you may want to have. We also do offer financing with insurance through Capital Insurances, our subsidiary. So we could direct you to Capital where you can have a quotation, and there are brokers who will shop around to get the best insurance quotation for you.
Okay.
Right? So pro forma invoice, offer letter of sale, letter from insurance company, valuation report. Now in terms that come to your deposit, now if you do not have the deposit for the particular vehicle, usually for a new vehicle, usually is as low as 5%. Depending on the age of the vehicle, it may be a little bit higher. So depending on the amount of the vehicle and you do not have it, that can be written into the loan and that money is placed on an interest-bearing account for you.
Okay.
As I mentioned before, you get interest on that money. And let's say, for example, you, along with your job letter and payslip, and we process the application. During the completion of the process and your loan is approved, what we've been doing at the credit union over the last 7 to 8 years is requesting that the vehicle be brought to the credit union so that it can be seen in terms of verifying that such a vehicle do exist in terms of engine number and chassis number. So the vehicle is brought to the credit union and viewed by 2 of our officers who verify the information. What we have done where cars are concerned, especially if it's a used vehicle, in other words, your person's vehicle from a person or even one of the independent car dealers who bring cars and sell, we have prioritized vehicle loans to make sure that they're out within the shortest possible time, no more than 4 days. We also do what we call a search to ensure that the vehicle is not encumbered and there are no judgments against you or the individual who's selling the vehicle or who owns the vehicle thing. And that's in terms of used vehicle. Once it's new, we get the Simpson Motors, NASCO, Mark and Early bring the vehicle to us one time, and that loan may be disbursed within 2 days as a result.
Okay.
So we've given priority to vehicle loans, as I say, because people don't wait. You get stories that a person turns up with money, cash.
Yeah.
So we have to move quickly on those loans. So those loans are given priority.
Well, Philip, it's been really educational. I think I'm going to go get that vehicle for sure next month. It's been really good to have you.
Thank you, Strat.
All right.
I'm happy to be here.
That's been Money Matters for this week. See you guys again next week, same time, same place.